We are ready to crown a champion here in about an hour and a half. This is the final of the PBA60 World Series of Bowling #2 from Columbus, Ohio, here at the Columbus Bowling Palace in the Wayne Webb pattern. I'm Dave Lamont, joined by Tom Carter and Tom Hess. Craig Elliott on controls. Tom, I'll start with you.
Yeah, which one?
Exactly. I'll turn to my right. Start here. All right. We have this final five. We know these guys very, very well. In fact, you look at this. This is actually going to be a very stacked final. We've got PBA champs. We got Bill Rowe, as good from anybody from Canada. And, boy, at the top of the stepladder, it gets really gnarly for anybody trying to charge in from the back.
Yeah, our World Series of Bowling #1 winner from last year, Jack Jurek, is the #1 seed. The guy that was most consistent yesterday, Darryl Bauer, #5 seed. Can he make a run? Going to be a great show.
Tom, this Webb pattern played, shall we say, tricky. Would that be fair?
That's very fair. You had to play pretty straight starting out. A lot of guys did with a lot of speed and just really up the back of the ball. But the transition was games 2 and 3, and I think we're going to see it on the show also. In those games, it gets a little squirrely, and whoever can figure that out's got a chance to get to the top.
You have Darryl Bauer in the #5 position. Darryl was the #1 overall qualifier, but did not win his match in the round of 8, after he won in the round of 16. His first opponent, John Burkett. I guess the big question, what do you think Burkett will throw? I'll throw it to you first.
I think he's going to throw urethane. He's going to stay firm outside.
I agree. He's going to throw the IQ 78. And we'll probably have to get out of it if he makes a run up the ladder. I don't think he's going to be able to throw it all 4 games, but game 1, he's definitely going to be throwing the IQ 78.
Yeah, Bill Rowe is 3rd, Amleto Monacelli is 2nd, and at the top of the ladder, Jack Jurek. Jack was the #2 seed. He was the big beneficiary when Darryl Bauer was knocked into this opening match. Darryl is not the #1 seed here. John gets lane choice. We're on 23 and 24. It is showtime. Let's get to the lanes.
First game of our match. Players good luck. Lanes are yours.
And, of course, John did very well in this inaugural event last year on the Roth pattern, winning it.
Yes, he did.
And, all right, so something else, Tom, and obviously you know Wayne Webb's house as well as anybody. And I'll ask you a question after Darryl throws about the difference between here and there.
Yeah, that's a really good shot from Darryl.
Darryl playing a little bit deeper than I expected him to play. Here's the guy that can play really straight. He tends to actually open up the pattern. He crossed like 8, 9, 10 right there out to 5. But talking about Wayne's pattern, I thought there was a little more friction at Wayne's house. The pattern's hooked a little bit more. And the Webb pattern's always tricky. It always has been tricky. And it was Wayne actually did really good on the Webb pattern at his house. I didn't think that we played it as straight as we played it here.
And Burkett with a strike, and he does indeed have the red ball. So he is throwing urethane, as our experts forecasted.
Well, I just think Johnny's got the advantage with some speed. He can keep it on line a little bit better. Darryl's actually already playing. I think he's throwing his concept, and he's already a little bit farther left than Burkett is already.
Well, Darryl, Tom, did not have the same look, I thought, and I think you mentioned in your commentary today, that he did yesterday when he was the #1 qualifier.
I agree. I think the fact that there was just the two players on a pair really affected his ball motion. With 5 players on a pair during qualifying, they stretched the pattern a little quicker. I don't think that's happened today. I actually talked to him, why he was so far left, and he says, I don't know, it just kind of was over there. And I told him, I said, I think you need to be further to the right. I really do. I was talking to Bill Rowe, talking about how tricky the pattern was, how flat it is in the middle. There's just no room left. You have to create it with angle to create that hold. But unlike, chops the 3-6. But unlike a lot of short patterns, you can't just throw it right at the gutter because it wasn't bouncing off the gutter.
Exactly.
Like a lot of the short patterns do.
And we watched some of the guys warm up, and they did try to bounce it. Actually, Billy Rowe threw one out there, and it looked like, it should come off because it's 37 feet, right? And there's plenty of friction, you would think, to the outside, but it gets there and it just lays off, and it doesn't do anything.
And Darryl's a little further right now here to start this match than he was in that one.
He's got some extra work to do with that one.
And now they're coming into a unique situation here in the stepladder where for the matches, they only got 5 minutes practice because they had warm-up pairs, so they were ready and prepared and warmed up before they came to their pairs. They got 5 minutes to practice during the matches. Now they've just had 20 minutes of practice with all 5 competitors on this pair. So another transition that's going to be different.
Well, I got to throw something out there to you, Tommy, because I think as we get down the road and we get to the match with Amleto, that do you think maybe, because he has been throwing a 16-pound black urethane ball up the outside, that maybe during these 20 minutes they tried to take that away from him?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention that close. What I was going to say, by the time Amleto gets on there with a couple of matches, maybe that urethane isn't going to be as good.
That's what I'm thinking. They're
whether they tried to or not. What could be happening now is, what I mentioned there, Darryl was further to the right, but that one didn't hook. Maybe that's because Amleto getting the 12 minutes of practice out there with the urethane ball.
See, Darryl's getting his to come out from the outside a little bit better, but he's hitting the outside much sooner.
Yeah, you got to get it there quicker. And I mean, I hate to be so critical of guys, but I just think maybe that last shot he just kind of missed it. Just wasn't a great crisp shot.
So, oddly enough, what a weird second frame that was for both of them. And Darryl's shot was a little bit tougher, but still, they both in open. So if John throws a strike, we're tied.
Well, a multiple pin pickup on this pattern was a trick.
Well, the other thing about this pattern that we noticed, as John nails that one, was if the enormous number of splits that were left in this event if you didn't strike.
Oh. It was easy to split. I mean, trust me, I know. It was easy. 7-10s, big fours, a washout. I mean, it was just easy to leave multiples down there because the ball hooked so much if you played the wrong part of the lane. But then you'd move off of that thinking, okay, I'm in the wrong part, and kind of send it a little bit, and it still didn't make it, so it left you a different design. Greek churches were very popular yesterday, too.
Yeah, there was a lot of go high, make the move, and then it doesn't get there.
And a double for John.
You can see how much straighter John is playing through the front part of the lane. I think that's an advantage, at least early on here.
Well, I think John's got an advantage. I'm going to call it the Mika advantage. He's got the ability to get it a little bit farther out on the lane and maybe keep it on line a little bit better.
Darryl with 1 PBA Tour title, 1 PBA60 title, and a bunch of regionals. 24 of them, in fact. It's a quality player. And at 70 years old, we think if he does win this, run the ladder, he would probably be the oldest, in our view, PBA60 champion of all time.
It's hard to believe he's 70 years old.
It is very hard to believe he's 70. There's a few guys out there who defy their age. Ben Hayes is another guy who at 79 absolutely.
He's 79?
Yeah, I believe he is. I think he's older than Ted Stakeoff, by 11 months. Yeah, Ben is 79. Doesn't look it.
See, he got that into me, and that held. He crossed 10 right at the arrows.
Yeah, I think that's where he's trying to be. I really do. Those, to me, just seemed like much better shots. His follow-through was a little better. The one that came up a little right, I think he just missed it a little bit.
Yeah, because he didn't. After he threw it, he looked to the left like he wasn't real happy with it,
Burkett's right about up 10-2. That one creeps just a little bit high.
Yeah, John qualified in the 13th position, averaging, let's see, he had 17.22 for 8 games.
Interesting. John decides to hook at the 4-pin.
I was a little surprised about that one.
John, we saw John hook. I'm always amazed that guys do that, and the ball travels so far. It's remarkable to me how accurate they can be when you consider how tricky that can be if you miss it just ever so slightly.
Well, when you got that much friction on the back end, when it could decide to go left, it can go left in a hurry. Hey, Tommy's one of the best spare shooters we have out here on the senior tour, and I'm quite sure he'd have thrown plastic dead at it.
100%. Oh, that one was a little more left to right, and that one came around it. John might have a little room here.
It just looks to me, like I said earlier, I think the key, if you're going to get around it, is to get it to the right a little quicker. If you get it down lane right, it doesn't read.
Just looking ahead off to our right, the practice pair is not that far away from the championship pair. And I see that Bill and Amleto are practicing. Jack Jurek, the #1 seed, is watching intently. And after this, I'll tell you something Bill told me that was interesting.
That was left.
And that's been his miss for the most part. When Darryl misses, and we've noticed for the last 2 days that he will go high or even swing into the Brooklyn area.
Well, for some of the guys, and Bill Rowe mentioned it to me in the match before, that it was hard for him to get the ball to go to the right, get it through the front part of the lane. He's like, I'm having trouble getting it to the right.
Anyway, back to Bill. The last time he was in a stepladder situation, the 5-man stepladder, the practice pair was way to the right of the BowlTV pair, and he was just focusing on himself, and he shows up and he realizes, oh man, I don't know what happened here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm in for. So he's going to be paying more attention, although that was him who just struck in the distance. He said he's going to be paying more attention to the match preceding him than he did before.
He's kind of taking a walk.
And he's doing it right now, yeah. Because he felt like he was just unprepared for what he walked into.
Well, he's the guy without a title, and so he's got to be the most hungry guy out there.
And he hasn't been on this particular tour, either the 50 or the 60, terribly long. But he was one of those guys that everybody knew about in the sport. I think it was the year that Pete won at the Bud Moore. That was the first time we saw Bill, because Bill made that show. And first time I know I had seen him, I'm sure a lot of pros had seen him before. I know he's bowled in the upstate New York area. Coming in from Canada is not that bad of a trip.
Yeah, I've heard of Bill for years, bowling all the Mega Buck events and all that. He's, he might be considered the best out here on the PBA60 tour that doesn't have a title.
Yep.
Well, he's had a great year so far this year, making 2 shows at the World Series.
Yeah, those shows were hard to make. 120 guys cut into 6.
Right.
And take a look at John. That's pretty much how he's played it.
He gets us to set up really nice at 7-8 down lane, and it just sucks right to the hole.
Yeah, that's what the urethane does, Tom.
For some people. I didn't I don't have that luck with urethane.
And a mixer there for John.
Tie ball game on the max scores. Each player can bowl 247.
Ooh, I love it.
You got way more rev rate than I do. Mine sucks right to the 3-6. It never sees the head pin.
So Darryl Bauer knows what he's in for here. Needs a strike to stay even. That looks high. Crossed over.
Oh, it didn't look high. It was.
I was trying to be polite, but and there it was. That's been if something goes wrong for Darryl, it's heading straight through the nose or into the wrong pocket.
Well, it just seems like as hot as Darryl was yesterday, he had a little trouble in the matches today, and he was losing it in the match. He started out pretty hot. Mm-hmm. Then it just kind of dwindled off, and his last game did lose being into the #1 spot. It's just like he was totally lost. He couldn't get the ball to where he needed it to be.
Well, for what he did yesterday, his high game today, of the 6 that he bowled in the matches, was 221. I believe he only had 2 games lower than that yesterday.
You are correct, sir. I know the last game he bowled in qualifying was 199, but by that point he'd already wrapped up the #1 seed.
Yeah, he ended his day 215, 199. Those were his 2 low games. That's going high again.
He just doesn't have a look, and he's trying to force that ball to me, if you could, his speed could be a little, I think, a little soft, but he's got to open up his angles. But it's a little late in the game right now.
Yeah, Burkett now opening up a good lead in the max scores, and John will have ball in hand to win.
Yeah, I always hate, sitting here because I'm not on the lanes. On the lanes, you get a better feel when you're sitting in the booth talking about it. But I still think Darryl's just a little bit too far to the left. That's just my opinion. I think he needs to be further to the right.
Is he comfortable, to use your expression, bouncing it off the gutter?
Well, I just think he needs to be parallel more to the right. I think that's what Tommy's saying.
Yeah. I don't think he needs to try to bounce it off the gutter.
Okay.
He just needs to be a little bit further to the right, in my opinion.
I know he's using his concept, but I know he has a black hammer, and I've seen him play farther to the right, and he just chose not to do that. I don't even think he threw the hammer in practice to see if he was anything over there.
Yeah, Burkett's getting comfortable now.
Bill Rowe awaits the winner. And Bill just now going back to the practice pair after watching for a little bit. Jack Jurek jumped into the practice pair to get this to stay loose, but Jack's the #1 seed. He's going to have to wait just a touch.
Yeah, Jack doesn't think that shot's going to be there when he gets there. He's got a level and an exponent. He goes, he might have to be a little farther left.
Great look right over Burkett's shoulder here.
Yeah, like 6-4. But he's controlling the pocket, and that's huge on this pattern.
If he marks this, it's over.
Yeah, it's actually
It's over.
214. If he misses, he's got a spare, but if he misses, we could strike out for a tie.
Yeah,
There is a possibility.
there is
Yeah, John's going to make it.
not a possibility of a tie. John Burkett's going to take the first game.
Yeah. The fastball across the lane.
Yeah, I think he knows how to do that. Although he's funny talking about baseball. He'll talk about baseball with anybody, of course. But as far as sitting down, like, he doesn't plant himself in front of the TV and watch a typical Major League ball game, say in the middle of July. Or, he says, I'll watch some of this. I can't sit down and watch a game. I'll watch the playoffs. But he doesn't, force himself to sit down and watch a game. Hey, he did it for 16 years, so.
Very solidly bowled match. After the miss of the 3-6, just a 4-pin and a 10-pin.
So 226 for John. Darryl will take the 5th place. The other thing that's going on here, as you know, is we have another event starting tomorrow here in Columbus. It's the Roth pattern, same field. I think we've had one dropout, so 128 boulders. Cut to 16 on a longer pattern, so perhaps a higher scoring pattern. And then Monday, we will do the same thing, 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. Those are East Coast times. There's the schedule right there. And then Monday night, then what we're going to do is we take the top 18 in scores for the World Championship. So that's the 2 qualifying scores combined. And then we cut that to 18. Then we have a day of match play on Tuesday at 9 and 2, and then Wednesday 2 and 6 on July 8th. And we'll crown a world champion, and Jack Jurek is the defending titleist in that. So Darryl in great position as far as the world championship goes. And he'll shoot 204.
204, 226. Yeah, I'm thinking Jack Jurek likes these PBA60 tournaments because he's doing rather well at them.
Yep. Yeah, he has a super senior title. He has the world championship title, and here he is the #1 seed for this title.
He's taking advantage of those old guys.
You know who turns 60 next year, don't you?
Too many people.
Mika.
Oh, great. That's priceless.
Sorry to bring that up.
Hey, you know who turns 70 next year, right?
Well, time to take those checks then.
Please say hello to Mr. Bill Rowe. Mr. Rowe is elected to have John Burkett start the match.
Okay, so Bill wants to finish on that lane.
All righty.
Already set. Look at that. We'll get him on the
Yeah.
lane. Gentlemen.
All right, let's go.
You know, that's always an interesting choice on what to do. When I'm in a stepladder, I like to finish the match first. If I got the lanes anywhere close to being the same, I love the opportunity to step up and end the match. But if they're different and the left lane is really, really hard, then I will bowl my 10th frame on the right lane.
Well, it happened last week. Liz Johnson did it.
Yeah, what a match. Bad break for Brian in the first frame. Leaving the 7-10. But congrats to Liz, setting more history, becoming the first female to win on the PBA60 Tour.
Yeah, the only girl that can even compete with her is Kelly Kulik, isn't it?
That'd be next year if she wants to do it. There's been no indication, yay or nay, if that would be a real asset if Kelly went out there, that's for sure.
That ball just did not read the back end.
Bill's a proprietor also. He's got the Rowe zone in Canada, Burlington, Ontario, to be more specific. He's got a bowling store there.
A pro shop operator is Bill.
Team Canada for many years in the 90s. And has been extremely competitive since he joined the PBA60 Tour. That's what we're bowling on. We've talked quite a bit about it. Infinity and Infinity Oil, 37 feet, named after the great Wayne Webb.
Tommy, I've been talking about it all week. Why don't you tell me, since you were out there on the lanes, what you think of this 37-foot pattern?
You take a look at the pattern and you go, well, it looks pretty simple.
Yeah.
You know, far as the look, and a lot of people in today's game, they take that picture there to the right and they look at it and they go, oh, shoot, I can stand left and wheel it and it's going to come back. But the 2-2s on this pattern make a huge difference on what happens to the outside, because there can be a little bit of hang. It does break down the ball, and the oil does chase down the lane, and that's what made this thing a little bit interesting for us out there throwing it, because they got weird in the front part of the lane, and it forced you left for some people.
Yeah, the 3.97 to 1 ratio in the scoring pace didn't add up to me.
But and the pattern we have tomorrow is basically 3 to 1, 3.9 to 1, and the mills of the oil is about the same. So we're bowling on the same volume of oil on a longer pattern. What does that mean to you, Tommy?
That they should hook a little bit more for a longer pattern, because you're covering more of the lane with the same amount of oil.
I always explain it to people. It's like taking a rubber band and stretching it out. What happened? It just got thinner, right?
Yeah, right.
So the oil is going to be a little bit thinner on the lane.
We're going to reset lane talk here, by the way. We're aware that there's something funky about it. So Bill Rowe has 8 spare strike, and John's got a double.
So I know you didn't get to bowl the tournament, Tommy, but thank God you're not old enough for some of us out here. How would you have attacked it?
I probably would have started with a concept, or maybe even IQ 78 further to the right. I would have tried to play him like John's playing. And I think eventually I might have been able to get a little bit further left with my little bit higher rev rate and maybe create a little bit of shape. But, man, they just looked really tricky in the middle. I'd have probably tried to stay as far right as long as I could.
Well, I think that what most of the guys tried to do, but when for somebody like me who doesn't have the ball speed to keep it on line there, I mean, I was forced in, and actually my games got better after I got forced in. I could create distance by going across the lane. Yeah,
by opening up your angle, moving, throwing it left to right. That's the way we talk about when we say we're trying to use angle to create hold, is you move your feet to the left, throw the ball further to the right. Now, if my ball bounces off of it every time, boy, that's that's what I'm looking for. I think that's the bowler's dream. When you know your ball's going to hook, scores go up.
Exactly.
So 3-bagger for Burkett, Rowe with an 8 spare, and now a double for Bill.
That looked like the Webb MB there as it went through the pins. That looked like that bright blue.
Take a look one more time. Different angle.
It definitely looks like
you see when it gets under the pin deck light.
It's that bluish purple. It kind of looks like that Webb MB.
Yeah, the alert is a little softer purple, I guess is the best way to put it.
It's almost
not
violet.
quite as bright. Yeah.
Yeah, color.
Yeah, getting back to what I was saying about friction to the right, some people like to play friction, some people like to play hold. I'm a guy that likes the friction to the right. When I know I can throw it over there and it's going to hook, it's a lot easier to let it go, in my opinion.
That happened to Bill a lot. He'd throw it out there, and he gets it out down lane so far, it just doesn't bounce.
It's long right.
And he's so behind, it could be axis rotation, too. It's not like he's twirling on it to get it back. But it's funny what the comment you just said, Tommy. That's Wayne Webb's comment. Might be because that's his pattern. Out on tour, he never looked for hold. He always looked for the friction. He goes, if I found the friction, I knew I could get the ball back.
So with that 7 count, Bill's got 47 in the second frame.
It's got a chance.
Yep, not going to come off the back. So that's going to be the first open of this game. And it's going to put Bill in a bit of a jam as you see the scores have caught up on Lane Talk. Burkett won the first game over Darryl Bauer, 226 to 204.
That's left. Yeah.
And he was hoping for hold. Well, that's one thing you couldn't do on this pattern is start it up too soon because it would take off. It just kept going. Especially
So a lot of that.
Especially if you weren't throwing urethane.
Well, I think even if you were throwing urethane, from sitting here watching the bowlers that I watched, if you were playing straighter up the lane and you got it left at all, there was just no hold. It didn't stay there. Once again, John hooking at that 4-pin.
I've watched Johnny for several weeks, and well, actually last year, he always threw a spare ball. I mean, this is something new.
Well, I've noticed on the spares to his right, he does throw that spare ball. But for some reason, he's decided to go after the ones on the left.
Maybe, I'm going to go another story. Maybe he's talked to Wayne Webb because Wayne has always felt, if I know what the lane's doing, I'm going to throw, he's going to hook it because it gives me more room for error. And that's the way he'll play a lane. Unless the lane is just so tough you have to throw it straight. But maybe he's taking that concept. I don't know.
Another great look right over his shoulder.
Ooh.
That was left early.
Mm-hmm.
right over his shoulder when you could see the ball, it was headed left.
Bad break for John. Huge break for Bill Rowe, who opened in his last frame. Monacelli practicing in the distance. There's the spare ball.
Hopefully to bounce something out. We got a story about that next game.
Oh, well, yeah, we do. That puts, well, if these guys both strike out, you know what that means.
You're counting ahead, aren't you?
You know what? I think we said it one time before the match even started, just to get it out of the way.
Yeah. That's great if they both strike the first frame. You know what's going to happen.
That looks better from Bill. Doesn't
Nope.
get the 10 out.
Nope.
He looks like he is really humping that ball to get it down the lane.
Is it the ball? Is it the positive? It's the time to change?
Well, like I said earlier, he likes to keep everything in front of him. I'm not so sure he likes to open his angles up as much as I think he probably should on certain situations.
Bill, great spare shooter.
Deadwood time.
Oh, we're going to have our tournament director, Tony Lanning.
There you go, Tony.
Tommy, break down this Deadwood clear for us.
Well,
Oh, look at that. That was
Look at that.
one move.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a better knee bend than Brad Snell in his heyday right there.
Yeah. We can't bend our knees like that.
No,
Not
we
fair.
cannot.
Just can't get back up.
Now, see, if somebody had been bowling on that pair and he stepped on the lane, he'd be having a fit. You just screwed up my pattern.
Oh, yeah. No, No, you guys handle everything that's different so well. So,
We got to get you out on the lane and see you bowl.
do you really, though? As soon as, well, let's see, how much medicine do I have in my bag here? Yeah, that'll get me through it. I need some work, I can tell you that. Yeah, why not?
Billy looks like he's just winding up on it. That shoulder opens up. He's like really pulling through the shot.
Yeah, it looks like he's really trying to force it through the front part of the lane to me, Tom, and
Yes.
throwing it so hard. This one carries. The last one,
You see how he raised up there? I mean, he's really.
he's trying to force it through the front part of the lane. I don't know if he feels that he can't move away from it and get it to come back, but both of those last two shots were really light.
Now we know Burkett can hook it if the shot goes away. He has the ability to go in and go around it.
Well, and I also think that right now the lanes are playing to where he can actually give that urethane ball away a little bit. He doesn't have to be dead up the lane. I think if he wants to hook the urethane ball a little bit more than he's doing right now, he can.
Got a late tap on the 7.
Berkey said he'd been working hard on staying up the back of the ball. When he first came out, he liked to see things hooked like everybody does. But he worked a lot harder on just staying up it and through it. He's doing a great job with it.
Well, that one, just looked like he started just a little bit further left as we were right over his shoulder. He seemed to be a little bit left of where he'd been. And that one looked to me like it was a little bit more left to right, creating just a little bit of shape. Or the other ones that he got going up the lane is the one that went high. I think Bill's in the right part of the lane. I don't think he needs to throw it quite as hard as he's trying to throw it right now. That's just my opinion. That one looked a little bit more under control.
Oh!
But I think he feels way more comfortable on that right lane, too. I think he feels he can get it down the lane. The left lane's got him a little tricked up in his mind. And he threw that one kind of out the door, and it didn't make it back. So I think he's scared he can't give it away. So he's just going to try to amp it up and keep it on line. Well, some people have that ability, like Tommy does. I know.
This lane, this left lane has definitely been his tricky lane. Even in his practice, he didn't throw near as many strikes on this lane as he did on the right. He has struck 2 of the 3 shots on it this in the game, though. So that's the alert. That was a ball change.
That was a ball change. See, he said that he goes to that ball when he feels he has to go around it. It gives him a little bit more on the back. Well, whatever his thought process, it worked.
Still in the match, forcing John to continue to throw strikes to maintain that 10-pin advantage. Burkett can shoot 255. Bill can shoot 245.
Oh, 5 right into the 7 there.
Kick that baby out.
Tom and I were both going to say the same thing there.
Well, take a look at it.
Watch that 5-pin.
Boom.
Doink, right into the bottom of the 7.
Take that. One thing about Burkett, he doesn't waste any time.
Get a great look right over his shoulder here. You can see there. He's giving that one away a little more.
Yeah, because that was like, what, 6,
That was
7,
like 6,
8?
7 out
Yeah.
to about 4, where earlier he was pretty much straight down 5.
Let's see. I think we'll get the spare ball treatment here. Yes, we will.
But with that miss, Bill Rowe is going to have the opportunity to step up and take the win.
Shut the door.
Yeah.
John can only shoot 234.
So ball in hand for Bill. Let's see if he gets the first one in the 9th before we dive too much into the mathematics.
Hates it.
Absolutely hates it.
Wow.
Brought away Brooklyn and trips out the 5 and the 10. Now, he hated that just as bad as John Burkett did, I guarantee you. But nobody wants to throw that shot.
Remember, Tom, he had a strike, not as bad as that, but he had a strike where he got a very late trip on the 2 on a not a very good shot at all. So the bowling god smiled on Bill a second time today.
Oh, yeah, he rolled that 2-pin forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was not a pretty shot. That was rough.
But I love this move. Bill knows how important this shot is. He just got a break. Took a re-rack. Gonna reset. Big shot right here.
No matter what it looked like, it looks like an X on that scoreboard. It's just not the way you want to do it.
That's better.
And, of course, what happens?
Paid him back instantly.
Of course what happens. So he cannot lock Burkett out.
Nope. 224 max score.
Now, John can step up in the 10th and take him out.
Lots of possibilities here, guys. Got tie possibilities.
We have now. We really have
Yes.
the possibility.
Yes, we
of a tie.
do. First things first.
Yeah, got to make this 10-pin. Got it.
Oh,
Fill ball is huge here. Strike here forces Burkett to strike in the first shot.
Yeah, if he strikes here, he gets to 224. If Burkett strikes and goes strike spare, there's your tie.
And if Burkett doesn't strike on the first ball,
Bill's moving
he's a
on.
loser. That's if Bill strikes.
Right.
and he's got to do it on his tough lane. I'm just surprised he chose to finish over here. He must have seen something we didn't, or felt something we didn't.
I mean, he did strike on it 3 times, so.
And really should have had a 4th, truthfully. That last shot.
I guess all I'm saying is he's working harder to strike on that lane.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Had it all the way.
But see, that was a big difference. He got that right way earlier, and it came back. It's when you get it right down lane, they don't want to hook.
And he did it with the stronger ball, right?
Right,
The alert
exactly.
is stronger than
Yes.
the Webb MB?
Yes.
Am I correct there?
Yep.
So Bill at 224. Burkett, if he strikes here, can win the match with another strike. If he goes strike spare, we have a tie. If he doesn't strike here, Bill Rowe advances. And he will get the strike. Another strike, and he wins. Essentially, right? He'll be
Gotta keep it on the lane,
You'll
yep.
need a pin. You'll need,
All he's got to do
right.
is just knock 10 pins down.
But first, yeah, strike will do it. If he doesn't strike, he's going to have to make the spare.
Correct.
he's going to have to make that to force a tie and a roll-off, and Bill Rowe will have lane choice. Where do you think he's going to go with that?
Lane choice and order. I really think that Bill is going to start on the right lane. He's been more comfortable on the right lane. The one thing that might change that is that he just threw a strike on the left lane. But watching Bill's reaction on the right lane, I think he starts on the right lane.
I agree with that 100%.
And he's going to curve it. And we are going to a roll-off.
The one thing that's going to happen is Bill's going to bowl first.
We have a tie game by PBA rule. This time will be broken by a one-ball sudden death roll-off. As the higher seed, Mr. Rowe will have lane choice and order.
Does Bill think that the one that he leaked to the right gives him some room on the left lane?
Well, I would think he would think that.
Oh, my. What are we doing here? Billy. Wow.
He wants to see what Burkett's going to do, and he's going to put John on the right lane.
Would you have done that?
No.
No,
Absolutely not.
I could have answered that question for him.
Absolutely
I know he
not.
wouldn't have done it.
Absolutely not.
Well, my eyes are about as big as baseballs right now going.
In about the last 3 weeks, this is the second time I've seen this happen. Jane Sin did the same thing at the Women's U.S. Open. She went second. You got to go first in this situation. Oh.
All right, 9 or better, and Bill will win.
That was just soft. Tried to throw it too good. Little soft, overhooked.
Oh, boy. Well, I know, Tom, you'd love this position because ball in hand and you throw it.
Well, here's the
it's going to be aggressive. It has to be.
Here's the edge in doing that. Now he knows what he has to do, and John didn't have his best shot. I understand your point, Tom Hess, completely, and makes perfect sense. But Bill now has ball in hand for victory.
You would want to get up and throw the first strike and force him. I mean, that's the idea.
9 or better, and Bill will take on Amleto Monacelli. 8, we do it again. Less than 8, and Burkett wins. And Bill Rowe has moved on with a strike in the...
Well, that was a gutsy move. And a whole different play on the game of bowling.
Well, and the other thing, John had just bowled.
Right.
So you didn't even make John sit down or anything. I mean, it ends up working. So I guess Bill knows better than we do.
All right, the winner here will face Jack Jurek for the Webb Championship at the PBA60 World Series of Bowling number 2. No, okay.
I tell you what, that guy's getting some serious breaks right now.
Well, Tom, I hope he goes to school off of that because the last shot that he threw on that lane, he thought he threw dead right.
Right.
And it hooked up dead flush with the alert, it looks like, is what I believe he's throwing. And that one, I think, if he thought that was good and it went high, and he's got room on that lane now.
Yeah, why he doesn't throw it to the right, I think we're both confused on that. When you see it, sometimes you throw a ball, it's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it gave you a read, and you went, oh, my God, I've got room more than I thought.
Amleto does decide to go.
He's still with the urethane way out.
So, Tom, let me ask you, does he have a 15 and a 16? Or
Yes.
if he's throwing urethane, so do we know if it's the 15 and 16, or are you just assuming?
No, I know he has a 15 and a 16, but he normally throws the 15 for his spare shots.
Okay, so you know that on his strike ball, he's throwing the 16.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I heard him mention that also. I had a conversation with him. Also, something else. Well, let's see. He's up again for the shot. Just wanted to bring up briefly because it came up in the chat a few times. People wondering about Venezuela, where Amleto came from, and that horrible series of earthquakes they had. He told me that his hometown felt it, but was fortunately untouched. But he's obviously very concerned for the people who suffered the great damage that they did in the tragedy there in Venezuela. So
That wasn't as far right as the one on the right lane.
That was about an arrow left. So he's got a game plan.
Well, obviously, it's the left lane is the trick. Figure out the left, you win.
Be interesting to see if Bill gives it away just a little bit more. And that That's not the alert. That's still the Webb MB.
So he's throwing 2 different balls.
We did mention at the top that this man will grind whatever it takes. So he's no stranger to this.
You know, somebody just got really loud. Oh, no, that is the alert.
That's the alert. Unless
Yeah.
you just switch to that, decide to use it on both.
I think just the darkness of the settee area kind of fooled me there.
It actually can change its color. Sometimes we've missed jersey colors in some settees, and then they step up into the light, and you think, oh, wait a minute, that wasn't that. It's a different color. So I could see where that would affect on dark bowling balls as well.
But he did get that one further to the right.
And that's what matters.
Will he do it on the left lane, though?
I sure hope so. I think it's his best chance to throw a strike.
Both players have doubled.
Well, I look at when he gets set up, and I've watched you a million times, Tommy. He never opens his feet up like he wants to throw it to the right, to open his hips up. He always stays pretty straightforward with his feet. I think that kind of makes it a little bit harder to try to get it to the right.
I agree with you 100% in that statement, Tom. One of the mini adjustments that the top professionals use when they want to throw it to the right, you drop that right foot back a little bit, opens up your shoulders. When you're trying to throw it, more parallel down the lane, you move that right foot a little bit forward, squares your shoulders up, makes it easy to throw it straight down the lane. That's a good shot. If Bill's lined up now, Amleto could have his hands full.
There's Deadwood.
There's even more now.
Was that in a flat gutter?
Yeah, I believe it was. I mean, nobody said anything, and it should be cleared out by now. So,
and that would be a big no. It's still there.
that's interesting. I thought it was cleared out by the rack. So
It's hard to tell from here, but if it's in the flat gutter, it's not moving. If it's on the shaker bed, you can see it moving. But either way, that should be probably cleared out. But I'd suggest that they not clear it out while he's on the approach.
good idea.
He has chosen to play those lanes totally different. Like you said earlier, an arrow apart.
Yeah, completely different. He's way further to the right, throwing it straight down the lane. On the right lane, on the left lane, he's curving that urethane. That must just be an optical illusion because Bill's going to bowl at it too, and I can't believe that both guys would do that. It must be out of play.
I don't think Tony sees it, but
the bowlers do.
The bowlers do,
And they would have the right to go, hey, I want that out of there.
Well, technically the rule is they're supposed to get it out of there.
Yeah.
I know Tommy would say, move it.
Wrap 10. That's a pretty good shot. He's got a couple of breaks, but they took one back right there.
It's stuck on something. The rig just hit it, and it didn't move.
You saw it. It jiggled, and it kind of lifted up briefly, but plopped right back down in the same place. Could there be another pin blocking it?
Tony's taking a look now. I can't believe he's going to throw at that.
That's got to be in the back.
They need to get rid of that. Oh.
Okay, Tony has checked, so that's the word from the tournament director. And is Tony, let's see. Tony's going to take another look. And
he says it's back far enough.
He's returned to his seat, so he's content with it. And if
I'd be wanting it moved.
Nope, somebody got it in the back.
There we go.
Yeah, I think Tony looked up here at the counter and told him to move it. And I think he let Bill know that he was doing it. So Bill waited a little bit.
I feel better now.
We got two guys right now that I think are in control of both lanes. Both guys in the pocket. Now it's just going to be who can execute the best.
Well,
He
throw
got
it like
around that one.
Yes, he did.
That one came back.
That's the most I've seen Bill curving it yet.
Yes, by far.
Jack Jurek warming up to our right. Jack taking on the winner. And good luck trying to figure out how that's going to be right now.
I'm pretty impressed with what Amleto's doing, with what Bill's doing. Amleto loves to get in there and hook it. He's committed to this urethane strategy and playing it completely different, and he's bowling a fantastic game.
Because if if they go to hooking it, he's good at it.
Don't know if he was completely thrilled with that. Likes the result, but how it got there, not
Well, I asked him earlier if he threw urethane all day yesterday, and the answer was basically, yeah, for the most part. And he switched out of it a little bit, but he stayed in urethane for mostly all day.
Well, I don't know what that holds for this then, because he had 3 games yesterday that totaled about 815, and the other 5 totaled about 70 under. He's got the 815 look right now. Front 5 and a 21-pin lead.
That was like 7-8.
Oh!
Oh, wow.
Thought he was going to topple that 7.
Well, he practiced his spare shots, which was kind of odd.
Didn't practice this one, though, I don't think. But let's watch what happens. There's a pin here that just fails. Might have been the 4. No, it's a head pin. Head pin is screwed up.
Kicked right around it.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Amleto and the spare bugaboos continue.
Yeah.
He has unfortunately had a little bit of spare issues in the past, too, on the left side.
You know, that's a shocking error, though, considering.
It didn't look like his normal rate. He was offline from the get-go. Maybe he's stuck. He's looking at his feet. Something was bizarre.
Well, Bill Rowe handed a big opportunity.
Almost looked to me like he tried to throw it harder than normal to try to keep it on line.
Well, that can also throw off your timing a little bit.
You know, you mentioned him going back and forth between the 16 and the 15. Did that affect it? Did he throw the 16 and it hooked a little more than what he wanted?
I don't know if anybody out there has ever experimented throwing, I don't know, 15, 16, 14 to 15. But when you change weights by a pound, it feels like you're picking up an anvil.
When you go up, and it feels like you're throwing a golf ball when you go down.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this is another lead we've seen an alarming amount of in this event in just 2 days. A 6-9-10 for Bill.
Yeah, high again. I think that the lanes have transitioned enough for Bill to where he can let it go. It looks to me like it's going to come off of it on both lanes. But when it hasn't all week, it's hard to, get that free. All of a sudden in the no.
Not even close.
Oh, my Lord.
Not even close. I'm watching also to the right. Jack Jurek is starting to load up his bag. I'm really curious as to what he's put in for this championship match he'll be bowling against. Obviously, he still doesn't know who yet. Although Amleto now has amazingly may get away with that single pin miss. He leads by 22.
That was just totally uncharacteristic of Bill. I don't know if he rushed it. You always wonder what happened when somebody just...
It wasn't close.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like, oh, he wrapped it. No, that was just never threatened making that. So he's going to have to take a deep breath and recover here.
Could be the nerves just wanting to get to that title match.
That's better.
And no, sir. Messenger drops off.
Looked like it got just a little bit further down the lane before it got there, so it was a little bit behind the head pin.
And the last time on this left lane when he left a 10 pin, he wasn't dead 100% sure about that. He clipped it on the left side.
Well, this lane he had struck on every time until now. 1, 3, 5, 7. Yeah, this is the 7th frame. So he had struck in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
So he just clipped it last time. He made an adjustment, so he hits it flush and pushes it too far to the right.
How about this? The last 3 spares we've seen shot have been missed. 2 of them singles by these guys. Amleto takes a re-rack.
I agree with what Tommy said. I think he's just scared to let it go and send it to the right and let it bounce back. I don't think he has the confidence that it's going to work.
Amleto's got some wiggle room now.
Well, he just handed him a free 11 pins.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. If a double here would be almost fatal to Bill.
Great shot from Amleto, doing what champions are supposed to do.
And remember, the pin he missed should probably have been knocked down, that 7-pin in the 6th. But he does come through in the 7th, and one more here in the 8th will increase his chances of winning exponentially.
Tommy, before he throws, do you throw any 16-pound stuff?
No.
All 15s?
Mm-hmm. I messed around with it a few years ago, and it wasn't a back and forth. It was, I switched to 16 for a while just to see if the extra pound would help with carry, but I never went back and forth. I actually tried 14 too, Tom, see if I could get the hook more when I was bowling on the kids' tour.
That looked a little left.
Yeah, there
It
goes
was
the
a little
messenger.
left.
Big double for Monacelli.
Well, when he gets it left, he doesn't have the shape on the back end. It just kind of like holds the line. He had a little bit of a light carry there with that messenger.
Take another look.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
like 9-10.
And it just kind of laid there.
Kind of half pocket, but it worked.
Now, can Bill recover after 2 shocking frames in the 6th and 7th?
That's better.
That was way better.
That was a little slower and right quicker.
I think the key is what you just said there, right quicker. Then he has great recovery if he gets it to the right earlier. This is going to be the biggest, I think, one of the biggest shots of the match right here, if he can double here.
He's got to strike here to have any chance to win, in my opinion.
Well, Amleto will be in a position to beat him.
Yeah, he's already pacing in the 230s. Bill's max score 224 if he strikes out.
$15 to
better.
8. Oh,
It's better.
that was probably one of the best shots he's made.
So he does double, but Amleto now will have ball in hand for the victory and set up a final against Jack Jurek.
I don't know if Amleto took the ball he was using off the rack and was just putting it back on, but he put a ball on the rack right before Bill threw that shot.
Oh, boy.
He kind of fell out of that one.
Yeah, he did. .246 max for Amleto.
So last year, Amleto made the show in the Webb and finished 4th. Look out! Boy, that release looked a little funky, didn't it?
I got to think that he's got something going on mentally right now, that he's just fighting the single pins.
But he didn't look that way, though, Tom. When we watched him
No.
all day today, nothing looked like that. So.
Yeah, no, he was pretty nails on all of his spares, but all of a sudden, it's a completely different situation now. You're on the step ladder. Everything's a little bit different, and that was a huge one.
Well, if you get the yips are hard to get rid of.
And you're talking about a genuine Hall of Famer, a no doubt Hall of Famer.
Yep. Any mark, 9 out, we have the possibility of a tie.
Oh boy. Well, let's eliminate that possibility.
That's going to do it.
Amleto. And he was brilliant in this tournament last year, just couldn't get the victories, but he made every one of the shows.
Yeah, see, Tommy, that one's a little bit better. He got that one going more left to right.
Yep. And he had confidence in that shot. He knew it was a good shot. I think right now the only thing he thinks for the next match, don't shoot any spares.
Yeah.
No?
That's
He's
a big
hooking
move. That's a big move.
I think he wants to get to where he really feels comfortable. What he's good at is sending it.
The other thing that making that strike and making sure he has a match, that gives him the opportunity to do that.
Right.
That's a huge deal because he's not going to get any practice, and Jack's going to get to come over and throw 10 shots.
To me, he looks way more comfortable doing what he's doing right now, than what he was doing.
Yeah, that second one, though, the 12th frame, actually, the ball didn't go through him as good as it did in the 11th. I wonder if he made a little bit more of a move to the left to see what kind of area he had. Yeah, Bill didn't get that one to the right again. Just going through the motions. The one thing, you see him look in his hand. I was talking to Bill earlier today, and he said the humidity down here is really playing havoc with his hand. Bowled the sweeper. Didn't he win the sweeper?
He did win the sweeper. The pattern was tough on that.
Yes, it was. That was a 46-foot, 44. But it had that. It looked like a hammerhead shark. It had that bar across it.
So Bill's going to take third place in this event, and he'll be back tomorrow, of course, on the Roth pattern to try to fatten up his numbers to make the cut for the World Championship.
Another solid event. Anytime you can make a step ladder out here is a solid event.
And he'll finish 202. Defeated John Burkett in a roll-off after John defeated Darryl Bauer. Now it's going to be Amleto Monacelli and Jack Jurek. Well, our spy has returned. What'd you find out?
Well, he looked right at me and went, ion, I think.
Okay.
All right.
Nothing like having a plan.
So that last shot was with an Ion Pro. The other one was a Tour Dynamics that I was looking at. And those two balls from where we're sitting in the advantage look kind of similar. So
Okay. See what we got.
The way the last one looked, I would throw that one. And that was an Ion Pro.
And it'll be Amleto starting.
Well, Amleto came over. He goes, I got to talk to my tour rep.
Yeah, Mr. Keene and he were talking seriously for a few minutes.
He's going to stick with the urethane. But if there is one shot that goes away, he's going to move left and bank it.
Oh, that's way further right. He got that one right quick. Got a huge break.
Yeah, that looked like it could have easily big forward.
That's what I thought it was when he let go of it.
Yeah, he may have thought the same thing. Now, you mentioned he would, if he doesn't like the shot, would he stay in urethane and just move, or would he go to reactive?
He might stay in reactive or urethane one more shot, but if it doesn't look good, I know he's going to go. He's going.
Okay.
And Tommy, in my opinion, the worst thing that can happen to a guy is throwing a ball not fully committed to it.
Right.
Standing on the approach, trying to make a shot, thinking, is this the right one, or do I want to make this change? That's a lot of time why I don't even mess around with changing bowling balls in this situation, is because you don't want to put that thought in your head.
Well, and normally
have a game plan and stick to it.
It always seems to happen when you change balls. You probably just pured it and it struck, and now that's even a worse thought in your head because you're like, okay, maybe I need to throw that one.
So Amleto makes the spare. Our first look at Jack. And he's in there.
What was that? The 4 just butted out the 7?
Yeah, a whole bunch of things rolling over there to the 7 and knocked it down. Good start for Jack.
Jack has 2 PBA60 titles. The last one was in 2015.
Yeah, Jack's in the 2-2-2 club.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. Because he has 2 on the 60 tour and 2 on the kids. Yeah. And somebody rooting hard for him.
That's about the best start you can look for when you're the #1 seed and come over there and throw 2 really good ones like that. And when I went down there and chatted to him, he didn't look that confident. And he stepped up there and threw 2 great ones.
Sometimes I think the gremlins get into his head a little bit, and he doubts himself.
Oof, boy, that hit hard.
That was a better shot. And that was more, as Tommy said, he was more committed to that shot.
Yeah, it looked like he might have moved a little left here on the right lane, too. On the right lane, he was much further to the right. Looked like to me like he opened that one up and hooked it a little bit. See what he does here. The one that went high on this left lane, he got right quick. I don't know if it was a bad shot or an adjustment that he tried to make.
Oh, no. Flat 10.
I'm pretty sure I can tell you what's going to happen here.
Could it be a situation where he throws 2 balls? Or,
Yep.
Okay. Urethane right and then something left?
Yep.
Sure could, because the one on the right lane looked really good. And now he's went high, in my opinion, because he got it right quicker. That one he didn't get it right as fast. It got there, but boy, it didn't have much left when it got there.
And let's see how he handles the corners.
That was more committed. I think he's going to probably switch on that left lane.
All right, so Jack, Jurek, and Tom mentioned the 2-2-2 club. The 2 PBA titles came 14 years apart, beat Dave Traber and Windsor Locks in '95, and then beat the King of Swing, Mike Fagan, for the Shark Championship. Had 3 other finals, lost to Doug Kent, to Rhino Page, and to Tom, when Tom won his USBC Masters title.
Yeah, Jack's.
He's looking very comfortable right now.
I'm just going to give my opinion right now. I think Amleto should probably just go to reactive.
Yeah.
Jack's opening up the lane. I think Bill could have done it last game if he could have just trusted himself to throw it over there. Looks like they've got this pattern broken down really nice.
Jack's got one of the best, most fundamental styles to watch because it's simple, he's smooth, and he's dead rock solid at the line.
And he is 4 for 4.
And with those 4 shots, now Amleto's got not only his results in his head, he's got Jack's results in his head to try to figure out what he's going to do. Looks like he's picked up the urethane here on the right lane.
Oh. He posted that shot. It looked good, but the pins didn't think so. Solid 8.
Awful break.
Well, the big question now is, I assume he's going to pick up the spare with no problem. Is he changing balls?
Well, something's got to. He's in a little trouble here, mainly because of Jurek.
I think, is he picking it back up? No, he's changing.
Yeah, looks like he took the thumb out and put it in somewhere else.
I agree with what Tommy said. Jack's got the lane open, and Amleto should follow suit. Do what he can do. Let it go.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anybody better on this tour than doing it than Amleto right now. Getting over there on the 60 tour, that is. And he gets the kick there.
Something's unique about Jack you don't see a whole lot anymore.
Ooh. Which is?
He uses a 4-step approach. You don't see a lot of that anymore. Parker Bone still uses a 4-step. Jack uses one, but Tommy, you use a 5, I believe.
I'm 5, yes.
Yeah, and most people I see, I mean, you got Pete Weber that is basically, depending on how you want to count it, 6 or 7.
If you're counting the backward step first.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I think most of the pros out here use 5. 4's, I've always felt that 4 is probably one of the hardest timings to get right, just for the fact that if they don't start perfectly in time, you're out of time.
So when you teach, what do you teach? If somebody comes to you looking for some help, will you teach 5?
If they're brand new, I'll go through the gamut, 4, 5, so whatever. You try to find something that somebody can reproduce without having to think about it. When it becomes a mental thought process to really working at it, it's hard to repeat. It's got to feel natural. Bowling is just walking.
I got a thought on that after this shot as well. Great shot, Jack. So what I was going to say, with a new bowler, I think trying to teach somebody that is very new, that doesn't know anything about bowling, I like the 4-step approach, and the simple fact that you can tell them you move your right foot and the ball at the same time. That's to get it going. Now, when you get more advanced and you want to change your timing a little bit, then I think the 5-step is more powerful.
Well, some of it depends on coordination. Some people, and that's one part of it. Some people just have trouble doing one foot or another.
Don't give them any gum then, Tom.
Well, especially if they've actually went out and been bowling a little bit, and they got used to starting on a certain foot.
He needs a double pretty badly. Gets it.
Stayed with the urethane on the right lane. And again, we can all sit here and debate this, and we can all have different opinions, and we can all be right, because that's one of the beautiful things about this sport.
Yep.
Doesn't matter how you do it. If you can repeat what you do, you can have success.
One of the kids on the regular tour I love to watch, Ethan Fiore, with that 3-step approach. It's just amazing how well that is.
Yeah, Amleto again going back to the reactive that worked. on the left lane before as he goes for 3 in a row. Trails the max score by 20. Oh, how does that?
Goodness.
How does that not
How does it
strike?
miss?
So he's had a solid 8, and then that messenger,
slam and
which
chin pin. Oh,
you'll rarely see a messenger go by this fast. I don't care what tour you watch.
there hadn't been that wall there to struck on 24.
Yeah, just gets just a little bit behind it, comes in behind the head pin, puts the head pin to the wall, right in front of the 10.
Unbelievable. That puts him in a bad situation right now.
Yeah, he's going to need some help from Jack. And Jack doesn't appear to be too generous.
Unbelievable.
So this is Amleto's 4th straight show in the PBA World Series #2. We've only had 4. He's been on every one of them.
Kind of sounds like Mika last year.
That year, Mika's 2 years ago, 2024. Yeah, a little bit. And quitter 10 for Jack. He's okay with it.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
shouldn't say he's okay with it.
that one was a little up the lane. That one wasn't as free and as far to the right. A little up the lane, laid there, didn't have the angle to carry.
He put his hand out like, yeah, I expected that.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's one of those where, we've seen it a couple of times already this week where that hit has resulted in that light blower 7-10. Jack is like, 10 pin, I'll get up there and make it. Thank you. Still, nothing decided here.
21 pins the difference.
Jack's max score, 259.
Still 238 for Amleto.
That looked in a little bit. That was that's the last 2 he didn't quite get to where he needed.
And I heard something. I think it was Jack that went like he got that one in.
That sounded like it came from Jack also, that he knew that wasn't a great shot. So, again, he's not surprised by the single pin result, maybe even a little relieved. But his max score shrinks, and he gets a little closer to Amleto. Mentioned that Amleto needed some help from Jack.
Oh,
And
no.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that.
Looked to me like he kind of rushed that, Tom. Didn't get up there and get set.
He didn't take any time at all.
And a shocking misstep has turned this match around to where if Amleto sheets, he wins. Now, that's 5 in a row. We know he can do it, but will he be able to do it?
Well, he's been all over the pocket the last 4 frames here.
Yes, he has. He's lived, yeah. The first shot of the match was probably his worst.
I think Tommy alluded to that earlier. It wasn't a totally committed shot, that first shot on that left lane.
He's asking it to hook.
And he doesn't get the break, so it goes right back to Jurek getting the advantage.
That looked like he amped it up a little.
Yeah,
It might be a little bit too firm.
I could hear him. He as soon as he let it go, he yelled hook. So whether he thought he missed it, whether he overthrew it, he knew it needed to hook.
If that speed is right, he threw it 17.6, 17.0. Yeah.
Well, it goes back to advantage Jurek. But did Jack appear even remotely a little nervous those last couple of shots to you guys?
He did.
Yes, he definitely on
Okay.
the one on the left lane.
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe on the shot where he spared, that here he was given this opportunity, he could take real control of this match and just could handle it. Now, Jack will be in the position to win the match in the 9th and 10th frames. Amleto will not be able to do anything about it, no matter what he does here in the 9th.
I think that's a great point, Dave. Good call.
227 max score for Amleto.
Jack is 237.
Let it go. Now, here's my question, Tommy. This is for you. Does he try to hook it on the right lane in the 10th frame?
No.
He being Amleto.
Yeah.
No.
Well-
I don't think he does. I think the two lanes are different. And I think it was just a bad shot on the right lane. I think he needs to open it up, just be soft with it, and make a great shot. And it may not matter.
Well, correct.
If Jurek strikes out, well, actually, if he goes 3 in a row here, it's over. But he does get the first one, a huge break on the 9.
That was the 4-9. Probably the 4-7-9, it looked like, standing there, and they all toppled.
Gets the 4 to fall into the 9. Huge break. I think he just tried to get a little bit softer with this one, got it further to the right to try to get it, to get that 10 pin out, and it creeps high.
Thank you, Headpin, for the 4-7.
Wow, that was pretty wild. Can he do it 2 more times?
Uh-oh, we're making a tape change. Huge shot right here. Huge.
Great shot there from Jack.
Seems to have recovered from that little bout of nerves. You know, that was solid.
Yeah, that was rock solid there.
Well, if he does it again, he'll need 1 pin.
That tape adjustment might be the turning point of the match. I think maybe he went high because the thumb hole might have been a little big and he was trying to squeeze it.
Yeah,
Said,
grab it a little bit.
You know,
Exactly.
and made the decision to stop, put the tape in it. That one was really good. Can he do it one more time?
He got it there.
Oh, that's
He's got it.
great.
That's there.
Oh,
wow.
And
6 pin. Right around the 10.
I guess that's the makeup for the 4-9, but
Wow.
then you even had a little touch of the 6 on the 10.
Now, Amleto has to strike out to win by 1.
If he makes it. So this is still huge. He missed the last one he shot over there. He needs to make this. Striking out is incredibly harder than double 9.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound like much of a difference.
Right.
But having to have all 3. Great sportsmanship there from Jack. Little pat on the shoulder to Amleto as he walked by. I'm sure everybody's surprised by that.
226 for Jurek. Amleto, 227 if he strikes out. So got to get the first one. It's the right lane. And he's going to take a little time with this one.
He needs all 3.
Man has lived in the pocket pretty much and hasn't gotten every break. There you go. There's 1.
That one was pure.
Yeah,
That one was pure.
pretty hard to find any fault with that.
The other thing that I like is not a whole lot of celebration there from Amleto.
No, dead serious.
He knows that that didn't clinch anything. He still needs 2 more. Kept his heart rate down. Going to take his time.
That's tough to do. Keep the heart rate down.
That is tough to do.
But he is pacing himself very wisely. And he's got to strike here, or it's Jurek's title.
Uh-oh.
Kind of
He's
fell out of that one.
Oh, he rammed it. And now for the win. A strike, and it's Monacelli's title. 9, and we roll it off. Less than 9, and Jurek is your champion.
Interesting having 2 roll-offs in the same stepladder.
And Jack will have the choice, and I'm sure he's already starting to think about how he wants that to go. Where would you want to be? And we saw Bill Rowe go first and let his opponent go first in a roll-off, and it worked out. But first, let's see if we even need one. A strike for victory here for Amleto Monacelli.
Oh, he posted that one.
Through the nose, and we will roll it off.
Wow, that's fortunate.
That could have easily been of anything but a single pin.
Yeah.
Wow.
This match will be broken by sudden death elimination from
Again.
as the higher seed.
So the interesting thing here, Jack has a couple of choices he has to make. Number one, which lane does he like? Does he want going on the left lane? So he wants Amleto to throw the reactive ball on the left lane.
And who will go?
Hey, I think that's a smart move.
I know, Jack.
And he,
and he'll go first.
Yep, and he doesn't let Amleto bowl on the lane he just started on.
That's a good shot.
That is posted. That is pure.
Yep.
And that strikes.
Amleto has to
little
match.
fist clench down there. He knew that was good when he let that go.
So it's simple. Strike, and we keep going. Otherwise, Jack's a winner.
Amleto's been pretty solid on this lane.
This is interesting. We've had so many false endings here. Oh, this will happen. Jack wins. Nope, Amleto's going to win. No, wait, Jack's going to win. Good luck. This is like watching an episodic TV show with a bunch of plot twists.
Who done it?
Yeah. I know who did it. No, wait, no. The other guy did it. And that's what we're after. All right, strike to stay alive.
Oh, he fell off of that one.
And Jack Jurek has
get it over
won
there.
again in the PBA60 World Series of Bowling. He captures the Webb Championship in a roll-off.
Bowling, gentlemen.